Apple waited years to make a foldable iPhone, and now it looks like the wait wasn't about hesitation, it was about control. According to a new leak, the foldable iPhone's core specs are basically locked in, and one surprise stands out immediately. No Face ID, a massive display, and a design that might finally make foldables feel finished. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. It really helps me keep bringing you more tech breakdowns like this one. This matters because Apple doesn't enter a category unless it thinks it can redefine it. Samsung, Huawei, and others have been refining foldables for years, but Apple stayed on the sidelines. Now, with mass production approaching, this leak suggests Apple believes it's finally solved the biggest compromises that come with foldable phones: thickness, creases, and awkward form factors. Let's start with how you unlock it, because this is the most un-Apple-like decision here. The foldable iPhone reportedly won't use Face ID at all. Instead, Apple is going with Touch ID built into a side button. Not under-display Face ID, not an ultrasonic fingerprint reader, just a physical sensor in the power button. The reason is simple: thickness. Foldables are already fighting physics, and Apple wants this thing as slim as possible. Cutting out Face ID hardware helps achieve that, even if it means bringing back a feature Apple quietly sidelined years ago. And no, this doesn't mean the phone is small, not even close. When unfolded, the main display is expected to measure about 7.58 inches. That's almost identical to the Galaxy Z Fold 6, which had a 7.6-inch screen. The outer display, meanwhile, comes in at around 5.25 inches. But here's the key difference. Apple is reportedly making the phone wider than most foldables. Instead of that tall, narrow TV remote shape many foldables still use, Apple wants something closer to a normal phone when closed and more tablet-like when open. That choice alone could fix one of the biggest complaints about foldables: usability. A wider external display makes typing, browsing, and quick interactions feel less compromised. Samsung itself is rumored to be interested in going wider, which says a lot. Apple may not be first, but it's clearly trying to land on what people actually want. Now let's talk cameras, because this is where Apple starts playing the long game. The main internal display will reportedly use an under-display camera. No punch hole, no cutout, just a clean, uninterrupted screen. Samsung actually stepped back from this idea on the Galaxy Z Fold 7, switching to a punch hole camera instead, but Apple is pushing forward. That's because this foldable iPhone is launching alongside the iPhone 18 lineup, which is expected to move Face ID sensors under the display. Apple's roadmap seems clear. Everything goes under the screen, step by step. The foldable iPhone won't have Face ID, but it will still benefit from Apple's under-display camera tech. Meanwhile, the outer display will still use a punch hole camera, which makes sense. It's the screen you'll use most for quick selfies and video calls. On the back, the phone is expected to feature a dual camera system, both at 48 megapixels. No wild periscope setup here, just Apple focusing on consistent, high-quality imaging across sensors. Then there's the elephant in the room: the crease. This is the reason Apple waited so long. The company reportedly obsessed over eliminating the crease entirely, aiming for a foldable display that looked and felt like a single sheet of glass. Recent leaks suggest Apple may have accepted reality. There will likely be a crease, but it's expected to be extremely subtle. The new report avoids mentioning the crease directly, but it does emphasize an industry-leading hinge mechanism. That's telling. Apple doesn't hype hinges unless they matter, and considering how minimal the crease already is on phones like the Galaxy Z Fold 7, anything better than that is functionally crease-free in everyday use. What's important here is timing. These specs are said to be pulled from late-stage prototypes right before mass production begins. At this point, Apple isn't experimenting, it's finalizing. That means what you're hearing now is very close to what will actually ship. The bigger picture is this: Apple isn't trying to win on specs alone, it's trying to normalize foldables. Wider screens, cleaner displays, fewer visual distractions, and familiar authentication methods all point to one goal: making a foldable iPhone that doesn't feel like a compromise. If this leak holds up, Apple's first foldable won't be flashy for the sake of it. It'll be deliberate, conservative where it needs to be, and quietly confident everywhere else. And that might be exactly what finally pushes foldables from cool tech demo to default premium phone. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. See you in the next video. Take care.